Hey, good morning, sixth grade. This is Mr. McAuliffe coming to you once again from your classroom here at St. Margaret's. I'm going to read you another story this week. I've enjoyed doing this the last couple of weeks and I'm going to keep doing it. So the book that I picked out this week is entitled After the Fall, How Humpty Dumpty Got Back Up Again. And it's a little bit of a twist on a nursery rhyme that you probably all remember from pre-K about Humpty Dumpty. The book was written by an author by the name of Dan Santat. After the Fall, How Humpty Dumpty Got Back Up Again. Hi, my name is Humpty Dumpty. And this, right up here, was my favorite spot, high up on a wall. I know, kind of an odd place for an egg to be and to spend his days, but I loved being close to the birds. Then, one day, I kind of fell. You probably heard about that, right? I'm sort of famous for that part. Folks back then called it the Great Fall, which sounds a little grand, seeing as though it was really an accident. I didn't mean to fall, and I certainly didn't want to. However, it did change my life, as you'll see. Fortunately, all the king's men managed to put me back together again. Well, most of me anyways. Because you see, there were some parts that couldn't be healed with bandages or glue. I had become so afraid of heights. I couldn't even climb the ladder to get in my bunk bed. I was so scared that it kept me from enjoying some of my favorite things. Like in the grocery store, my favorite cereal on the top shelf. I couldn't even bring it to myself to climb the ladder to get that. Each day I walked past that wall and I would think about climbing the ladder again. You see, I really missed the birds and loved being high above the city and being able to see everything. But I just could not bring myself to do it. Because I knew that accidents can happen again. I eventually settled for watching the birds from the ground. It wasn't the same, but it was better than nothing. Then, one day, an idea flew by. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a little tiny airplane right here on the page that he sees. Making paper airplanes was harder than I thought. It was easy to get paper cuts and scratches. Man, do those sting. But day after day, I kept trying. And trying. And trying. Until I got it just right. And I made the most perfect paper airplane that looked just like a bird. My paper airplane was perfect, and it flew like nothing could stop it. I hadn't felt that happy in a long time. While it wasn't the same as being up in the sky with the birds, it was close enough. Until one day, unfortunately, accidents happen. Again. They always do. you see my paper airplane landed on top of that wall. As I stood at the bottom of the ladder and looked up, I almost walked away again. But then I thought about all the time that I'd spent working on my airplane and all the other things that I'd missed. So I decided I was going to climb that wall again. But the higher I got, the more nervous I felt. I didn't want to admit it, but I was terrified. I didn't look up. I didn't look down. I just kept climbing, one step at a time. Until I reached the top of the wall and was no longer afraid. So maybe now you won't think of me as that egg who was famous for falling off the wall. Hopefully you'll remember me as the egg who got back up again after he fell. The end. So I hope you enjoyed this week's story. It has a message for all of us. And excuse me, as I sit here and look at the back cover of the book, there's a phrase on it that says, "Life begins when you get back up." So the message in this story is that from time to time, we all get knocked down. We all fall off that wall. The key, though, is to get back up, brush ourselves off, and move forward. If you fall down, don't stay down. Pull yourself back up. Because that's when life begins. I miss you guys, and I look forward to the time when, once again, you're sitting here in front of me in your class and I'm reading to you in person and not having to videotape it. But until that time comes, I ask you to please make sure that you are listening to your moms or dads or grandmas or grandpas or whomever is helping you to do your schoolwork at home, because even though you might not physically be in school, we are still in school. And it's important that you do your work, and not only do your work, but that you make sure that you get it to Mrs. Townsend or Mrs. Gentili. Until next week, 6th grade, be safe, be healthy, and be strong. I miss you guys, and I look forward to seeing you again. I hope you have a great day and a magnificent week. Bye-bye, 6th grade.